Hello everybody, this is MV, broadcasting from the UK. I thought I'd just do a little recording to keep building up my practice of calling ball games. I don't have the accent. As usual, give a big shout out to our Red Sox fan, followed for many years, King Icky Boo from many years ago, and my main man, Beatles Eternally, who brought me back to baseball along with all that crazy crowd over at Beatles Eternally channel. So this is part of my project I'm doing. It's a 1959 onwards kind of career replay. I'm not taking charge of any one team. This is going to be a quick game, opening day of 1968. Just a little history. Let's look back at where we are. Last season, the Mets won it for the first time over the Athletics. So just a quick look at the teams. Let's look at the standings, opening day, 1968. There are the teams there. National League and the American League. It was very simple back then. If you let's look at the power rankings, reports, where's reports? Here we are. Power rankings. The top team according to the power rankings. No, it's not actually set yet. This is in alphabetical order actually, so it's not the case. So instead of that, let's just look at some other reports, such as player rankings. Yeah, I think that's better. So position player wise, the best players in the league as it stands. Joe Torre is a superstar playing for the Braves, it looks like here. He is a catcher. Famous Joe Torre. He's actually fourth best. Rusty Staub, a player I saw play for the Mets in 1984, La Grande Orange, famous for his Montreal days. He is a big star playing for the Astros. Having a quick look at his career so far, had a monster year in 1966. I say monster year, it was a good year for Houston. So that's La Grande Orange. Mickey Mantle, of course, seems to rotate them actually. Mickey Mantle, look at those awards. It's crazy, isn't it? He's batting, say, 36 now. But even in 1966, he had 44 home runs. Wow, with a 9.2 WAR, which is fantastic. Took him back to his early years. Batting 315 last season, slight drop off, never not slight. Decent drop off. He's got 597 home runs. In real life, Mickey had 536. So he's performing way above his years. In fact, in 1968, he actually retired. But Mickey's still going here. That's Mickey Mantle. It seems to rotate them as I press them, actually. Joe Morgan, another player at the top of his game. He is 24 years old, plays for Houston. So that looks like La Grande Orange and Joe Morgan both play for Houston. Got Norm Cash at the top of the tree there, playing for the White Sox. Norm Cash has played for the White Sox all of his career. In real life, however, played for Detroit. He transferred or traded from the White Sox in real life to Detroit in 1960. But in my replay, which starts in 1959, he's still with the White Sox and did a pretty darn good job. In fact, last season would have been his career season with 25 home runs, 81 RBIs and batted 317 with a 921 OPS. So pretty good stuff from Norm Cash. Hank Aaron, Hammering Hank, 34 days in veteran stage. His last season he batted 279, which is quite low for Hank. In fact, the last two seasons he's on the dip ever so slightly. Yeah, been consistent though all through his career. He batted 279, 28 home runs, 96 RBIs. He's still hammering Hank, but he's getting older now. Rico Petrocelli, famous Bostonian from Brooklyn, or Boston Red Sox from Brooklyn. He is currently in his fourth season. Last season, nothing much to write home about. Still a good season though. 264, 17 home runs, 71 RBIs. So what I love about this, I love the pictures, I love all of those kind of things. A guy I don't know too much about. Jim Ray Hart, just clearly got 3 championship rings. She's been an integral part of the Giants. Billy Williams, Chicago Cup, of course. 29 now, that's Billy. Consistent career so far. Tony Perez from Cincinnati. So far, so good. His career, 3-time All-Star. So a lot of these players I'm familiar with now because we're coming to players that played in the 70s as well, which I do remember that relatively well. Not as much as I do the 80s. Willie Horton, another player that I do know from the 60s. He's a star. Who else is there? Let's choose someone I don't know so much. Dennis Menke, shortstop for Atlanta. He's always been with the Braves as they were in Milwaukee. Came across, so he seems to be a star. Oh, excuse me. For Beatles eternally, he's a Pittsburgh Pirate fan. Willie Stargell is a star and made it. I kind of like to see how they made it. In fact, that was his best year, it looks like, in 1967. So looking for a big year from Willie. Jim Wynn. Is that the toy cannon, Jim Wynn? I think that's him. And someone was asking about strategy once about if you could change it. If I had control of him, yes, I could change him. Yeah, but I'm not in control. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm not controlling any team. But you can control Boog, Powell, Roberto Clemente still there. Tony Perez, like I said. And pitcher-wise, Gary Nolan I've seen quite a few times, only 19. But I've used him already, as I've seen him in action. 18 and 11, I mean at 19 years of age. I didn't know he was that young. Denny McClain. Playing with the Orioles. So he must have come up in real life with the Orioles. No, he came up with Detroit in 1963. So for some reason, he starts off in 1964 with Baltimore. Interesting. So I need to look at that. Don Sutton, Juan Marichal, the Dominican dandy. Let's have a look here. Decent career. Probably not as spectacular as his real career. In his real career in 68, 69, actually had his best season, so maybe he's due. Julio Guerra, I've never heard of. He looks like a player that was a minor leaguer in real life. Doesn't have the stats in there, but he was. If you Google Julio Guerra. So that's what I liked about the game. It does give some of these minor leaguers a chance to shine. And they make it or don't make it. In this case, he's made it. So, Sandy Koufax is still playing. But for the Braves, I don't think Sandy... Wow, interesting. I was just about to say I don't think he ever dominated, but then finally, he has a breakout year in last season. 19 and 4 at 2.98 ERA, 226 strikeouts. Season 4, 10 and 12, so this seems to be his second best season. His first season was in 1962. So he's still playing. He's playing for the Braves. Drysdale, Tom Seaver. He's already a world champion. So let's get into it. Let's play the first opening day. Go to scores. It's a choice here. So Carmelo Pascual versus Ernest Lewis. Nah. Cubbies on the road at the Reds. Ken Holtzman again. Jim O'Toole. So I've seen Holtzman before, so nope. Woody Fryman and Larry Dierker. None of that appeals to me, so I'm going to fast forward it a day. So, Marty Al Downing now, Julio Guerra and Gil Downs, or Gil Downs, another one of these minor leaguers that seems to have made it. That looks like a decent matchup. Mets, Juan Marichal against Dick Selma. Now that could be the one we look at. William West, Don Wilson. Don Wilson looks like a strikeout pitcher in real life. We've got Phillies and Dodgers. Dave Roberts versus Don Sutton. Ah, that's got to be it then, isn't it? It is here. Koufax versus Carlton. Now let's have a look at Steve Carlton's stats. In this game, this is his third season. He had a horrible second season. It's shocking. And but in real life, in 1969, this might have been one of his, not even a breakout season, I'd say. He would have really broken it in 67. In this game, he's still new. 5-19, that's awful. So, we're going to do that one. Let's see this young phenom against the veteran Andy Koufax. Sandy Koufax. And Koufax is playing for the Cardinals. So no pictures for quite a lot of these Cardinals. Clearly they've had a big clear out in the 60s. Not like real life. But then again, a lot of those players were traded in it, I think. Here are the Braves. Make it short. Joe Torre at catcher. Matt Jones in right field. Hank Aaron at centre field. Eddie Matthews is still playing. Ron Hunt is still playing DH today. Who I have a DH. Wally Moon, who I've seen hit some phenomenal home runs in this game. Amado Samuel, don't know who he is. Doug Clemens is the third baseman. Samuel is the second baseman. Pitching is Sandy Koufax. For the Cardinals, we've got Johnny Lewis. He's now 28. I've seen him in the game. Ex-minor leaguer that made it, that didn't make it in real life. Kurt Flood is batting second. Third is Robert Boyer, who seems to be one hell of a slugger. Real life didn't make it, but his stats, he's come through, and he is a star. So Robert Boyer is one of these players that have come through the game. Levi Brown, another one of these that have come through. Started off with the Giants. Some good histories being made here. Jimmy McDaniel, another one. So if they've got no pictures, it means they played in the minor leagues in real life. It didn't make it. Well, for the most part. So quite a lot of those players in here. So I'll just double check St. Louis. What mode are they in? They won't let me. So let's get to the game. The game is going to be at Busch Stadium. It's Steve Carlton on the mound. At the plate, Dennis Menke. And here we go. Cardinals, Steve Carlton. Pitches with one strike. Goes to center field and Flood is back. Let's change that camera. There we go. And let's change the action camera. There we go. Carlton looks in at Joe Torre at the plate. Barty puts a signal down. 0-2 to count. And Torre hits it to short. Lewis corrals it, throws to Boyer, one away. Carlton in real life, a Hall of Famer. Looks in, Matt Jones at the plate, left-hand hitter. Got some power in his bat and he's a contact hitter. Carlton looks in. First pitch. And that is hit to short. Lewis has it, throws to first, he's out. But ties are side, so straight away, the Braves draw a duck's egg. 1-2-3. At the top of the inning now for the first inning, now for the St. Louis Cardinals, Johnny Lewis. A threat if he gets on base. Here's Sandy Koufax. Maybe finally gonna break out. He does. He did last season. 1-2 to count. And this is popped up. Lewis hacked at it. And Menke gloves it. 1 away. Koufax looks in at the plate. Is the veteran Curt Flood. Versus Sandy Koufax, he's batting .333 in his career. Koufax looks in. 0-1 to count. And Flood hits this to left field, or left center field. And Hank Aaron is there. And Aaron's locked in and pulls it down. Let's look at the Atlanta outfield. Wally Moon in left field. Still plugging along at the age of 38. Center field, Hank Aaron. Right field, Mac Jones. Behind the plate, Joe Torre. First base, the veteran Eddie Matthews. Second base, Amado Samuel. Shortstop, Dennis Menke. And at third, Doug Clemens. At the plate, Robert Boyer, who is a big hitter. He's got 231 home runs to his name. 2-2 to count. Boyer hits it to short. Samuel picks him and they got him. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Cardinals. Carlton looks in. Hank Aaron at the plate. 1-2 to count. And Aaron smacks this to left field. But Berner is after it and he records the first out. Here's Eddie Matthews. 1-2 to count to Matthews. And Carlton strikes him out. First strikeout of the day for Steve. 2 out here in the top of the second inning. At the plate comes Ron Hunt. 3-2 to count. Hunt pops it up. And it's caught by Boyer. So down they go. Here we go to the bottom of the second inning. Levi Brown at the plate. Koufax stares in. 3-2 to count. And that is ground ball to second base. Samuel has it and takes care of business. 1 away. Koufax looks in. 1-0 to count to Jim McDaniel. McDaniel is just a right field. Then back is Mac Jones. But he gets it. So, at the plate, Bob Berger. He is good at getting on base. Last year he had a .249 batting average, only 5 home runs. Koufax looks in to the lefty Berger. 2-1 to count. Berger flies to center field, and hammering Hank Aaron has it. Clean inning for the Braves. To go to the top of the third inning now, Wally Moon comes into up to the plate, left-hander. He's got a .284 career batting average. Carlton looks in. First pitch, and Moon lifts it to center field. And Curt Flood has it, and he'll haul it in. So let's get rid of that action. Carlton looks in at the plate. Arnado is at the plate, second baseman. Not much of a threat. Last year only batted .167. Carlton looks in. 3-2 to count.
Strike 3.
And struck him out. So Steve Carlton gets the strikeout. That's his second of the day. At bat, the third baseman, Doug Clemens for the Atlanta team. Only batting .215. 3-1 to count. And Clemens bloops it to right field and gets a base hit. So Clemens on first. 2 outs. Score of nothing. Carlton leans in and Dennis Menke at the plate. And Menke hits this to center field, but Flood has it and holds it in. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a runner left on base. So got the bottom of the 3rd inning, Koufax on the mound. Hasn't got a strikeout yet. Yes, the veteran Ken Boyer. Koufax looks in, 3-2 to count. And Boyer hits it to short, great diving play by Menke. And he throws to first for the out. Excellent play there by the shortstop, Dennis Menke. 1 away. Warren Barty, the catcher, comes to the plate. Koufax looks in. Torrey puts a sign down. 3-1 to count. And that's outside. Ball 4. So Barty takes first base. Koufax struggling with his control. Has always had that problem. Here's Barry McCarron. 1 out, 1 man on base. Bottom of the 3rd. Koufax looks in. McCarron takes a few practice swings. Koufax goes into his windup. 2-2 to count.
Strike 3.
And struck him out. Sandy Koufax gets his first strikeout. Now plays Johnny Lewis, the shortstop. Koufax looks in. Torrey puts a sign down. 3-2 to count. And that's lifted by Lewis to right field. And Mac Jones puts a glove on it. Inning over. 1 walk in the inning, 1 left. So we go now to the top of the 4th inning. Game moving on pretty quickly. And it's the All-Star Joe Torre at the plate. Let's see if Joe can get things going here. Carlton leans in, Barty puts a sign down. 0-1 to count. And Torre strokes it to left field with a line drive and gets on base. That's what All-Stars do. Here's Mac Jones, lefty-handed hitter. But had 20 home runs last year. Carlton looks in, 1 man on base. 2-2 to count. And that is another drive to left. Clean single there for Mac Jones. He now goes to first. Torrey over at second. 2 men on there for the Braves. They're cooking something up. And here is the right man to take advantage. Hammer and Hank Aaron. Carlton looks in. The veteran waits. 2-1 to count. And Aaron launches it to right field. Flood is looking at the track. Goes up for it, but it is gone. Hank Aaron with his first home run of the season. And the Braves now lead 3-0. So the youngster Carlton gives him a home run to the veteran. So all of a sudden the Braves jump out in front. Here's another man with power, Eddie Matthews. Carlton looks in, Matthews waits. First pitch, Matthews, nice little flare down the right field line, and he gets a base hit. Brown could not catch up to that one, and it's over Boyer's head. At the plate, Ron Hunt. Hunt, a decent hitter, better against left-handers. Carlton looks in. First pitch, straight to short. Oh, and there's an error there. I'm not sure what happened there. There's an error at first. And the runners are at 3rd and 2nd. So nobody out there. Lewis dived, threw it over to first, and it was over Boyer's head, so an error. So Matthews at 3rd, not great speed. Hunt at 2nd, and at the plate, another veteran slugger. Wally Moon. He was acquired in a trade from the Dodgers in 1963. He's been with the Braves for quite some time. Carlton looks in. Moon waits. Runners at 3rd and 2nd. 3-2 to count. And Moon strikes out. So he missed an opportunity there. Here is Amado Samuel, waits at the plate. Carlton looks in, 1 out. First pitch, and Samuel does a line drive to center field. 2 men are going to come in, and Samuel will get to second. Hunt and Matthews score. And the Braves tack on 2 more runs. It's 5-0. Carlton looking a bit forlorn out there. Not looking good. At the bat is third baseman Doug Clemens. Carlton looks in, and they try to throw out Samuel. Not Samuel, the man at third is, Samuel. Carlton looks in. Clemens waits patiently. 5-0 the lead. 1-1 the count. He hits it to second, and he's going to be out. McCarron picks it up quite easily. So that's 2 down, but another run will score. 6-0 Braves. Carlton looks in. Still on the mound, Steve Carlton here in the 4th inning. Dennis Menkes at shortstop comes up to the plate. Full count. And Menke jumps down to first. Oh, it's a nightmare. Well, no, they take him out. There's Joe Torre, another one of the all-stars on this fabulous Braves team. Lots of great veterans on there like Joe Torre, Mac Jones, Hank Aaron, Eddie Matthews, Wally Moon, Ron Hunt, and even at the pitcher position, Sandy Koufax. Carlton really struggling here. 1 man on, 2 men out. Carlton looks in. And Torre doesn't do much. He pops it up, and that retires the side. Atlanta, the 4th is over. The Braves put up a crooked number, scoring 6 times in the inning. And it's 6-0 Braves. There's Kurt Flood at the plate. Looks in. Koufax mops his brow. Leans in. Torre puts the signs down. 3-1 the count. And he walks him. Not unusual for Sandy. He's had 2 walks and 1 strikeout. Flood on first. Is he a threat to steal? I'm not sure. Koufax looks in. Boyer at the plate. So Ken Boyer waits. 1-0 the count. Boyer slides out to right field. Mac Jones gloves it. It's 1 away. The plate now is the power hitting Levi Brown. Levi waits. Koufax waits. Leans forward. Torre puts the signs down. 0-2 to count. And Koufax struck him out. I wanted to see strikeouts, and I'm getting some now. Second strikeout for Koufax today. Jimmy McDaniel comes to the plate now for St. Louis. There are 2 men out. Bottom of the 4th inning. 1-2 to count. And McDaniel hits us to center field. And Hank Aaron has no trouble there. Reaches up and takes the catch. So the Braves all business at the moment. And there they are now with Mac Jones at the plate. The dangerous Mac Jones. Bases are empty. Carlton leans in. 3-2 to count. Struck him out. So a bit of the old form there from Carlton. This young phenom. Although he's trailing 6-0, the manager's leaving him in there. Let him take his lumps. But back at the plate is Hank Aaron. Has already had a home run today. He's 1 for 2. 1-2 to count. Aaron fists it, but it only gets to Carlton. He fists it up quickly, throws over to Boyer, and that's 1 away. So that's 2 away. At the plate now, the veteran Eddie Matthews, left-handed hitter. 1-2 to count. Carlton looks in. 1-1 to count. And Matthews hits this into center field. It flies out to Flood, and he pulls it down. To the end of the inning, the Braves go in order. The Braves still lead 6-0. Koufax back on the mound, and at the plate, Bob Berger. Koufax looks in, 2-2 to count, and Berger drills it down the left field line past third base, and he's going to get a single. So the Cardinals actually get a hit. I wouldn't even notice they didn't have a hit. So here's Koufax, looks in, Boyer at the plate, trying to get someone going for St. Louis. One man on, nobody out. They trail 6-0 in the bottom of the fifth inning. Koufax looks in, first pitch, and that is smashed to left field, but nice play by Wally Moon at the near fence. One away. Here's Warren Barty at the plate. Koufax looks in. Oh, and that gets away from Joe Torre. So Berger moves up a base. Koufax looks in. Barty there, 1-1 to count. Barty drills it, but it goes to second, and he throws over to Samuel throws over to first to Matthews, and he takes it. So it's 2 out. Koufax looks in. 1-0 to count. And that's smashed down the left field line past third base. Clemens can't have it, and the Cardinals get on board. McCarron will hold it first, but Berger comes home with a run. 6-1. 2 men out. Bottom of the fifth. There's Johnny Lewis. Koufax looks in. 1 to count. It gets past Samuel at second. So runners at third and second. Lewis will take second base with a double. McCarron gets into third with a head first slide. Rally time now for the Cardinals. Trail 6-1. Koufax looks in, and it's Kurt Flood at the plate. Flood over third base, gets down into left field. Moon throws it back in, but McCarron will score. So double for Flood. The 2 men score. Why don't they make that play-by-play just a little bit bigger? I think I can do it, but I'm not going to. So Flood is at second. He came through this 6-3. And here comes Robert Boyer, the power man. Let's have a look at Robert Boyer. He's not well known, as he was a minor leaguer that's come through my league. He is extremely popular in St. Louis. Came up in 1961, had 15 home runs in his rookie season. His standout season was in 1963. Where he hit 40 home runs, so he hit 244, 40 home runs, 111 RBIs. Since then, he's cooled off with his hitting just a bit. His home run power has remained. There's Boyer at the plate. Koufax looks in. 3-2 to count. Boyer lifts it to center field. And Aaron has it, and that's the end of the innings. But St. Louis score on 4 hits. So 3 on 4 hits, no errors, and a run left on. The Cardinals are drawing closer. So go to the top of the 6th inning. Steve Carlton now is still in the ball game. And Ron Hunt at the plate. 0-1 to count. And Hunt hits it to Lewis in short, and they get him. First out. Here's Wally Moon. Carlton looks in. Moon straight to second. And McCarron has it, plays it on the hop, tosses it to Boyer for the out. St. Louis players, I don't know, because a lot of them are minor leaguers. Or minor leaguers that came through in the game. But I have got used to Johnny Lewis now, to be fair. Johnny Lewis, in real life, came up in 1964. So actually, he does exist. He just doesn't have a picture. Interesting. In Greenville, North Carolina. Alright, Beatles. There we go. Steve Carlton looks in. Got Samuel at the plate. 1 and 2 to count. And that one is hit past Lewis at short. Ow, and a mistake by Flood. You're trying to make an over, should have kept Lewis, and then Flood flopped the pickup. Who gets the error will be Flood. But more importantly, Samuel is at second for the Atlanta Braves. 2 out here. Here's Doug Clemens at the plate. Carlton looks in, it's 2 and 2 to count. He struck him out. Clemens couldn't hold up in time. And there is a strikeout. So here's Sandy Koufax. He's had 2 strikeouts in 5 innings today. And Levi Brown at the plate. 3 and 2 to count. Another full count. Koufax. It goes to second. Samuel has it, throws it over to Matthews, and Brown is out. Koufax leans in. McDaniel at the plate. Jimmy McDaniel. He's got some power. Let's have a look at Jimmy McDaniel as a DH in this DH league. Real life stats don't exist, so I don't have them. Batting stats, he came up in 1960. He's from Marshall, Texas. Nothing to write home about career-wise, apart from 66. Decent potential, but he just seemed to not to have done well. He's 35 years old, so Jimmy McDaniel, not much of a threat contact-wise, but for power he's got it. Koufax going to have to handle him carefully. Bottom of the 6th inning, 1 out. Atlanta leads 6-3. Koufax trying to hold on to his lead. 3 and 2 to count again. And McDaniel, he hits it to center field, gets a base hit. Menke couldn't pick it up. So man on first. Here is Bob Burder, left fielder. Koufax looks in. First pitch, Burder lifts it to left field. Wally Moon has it, throws it back in, but McDaniel will take third. Burder up to first, good base hit. So now we have Ken Boyer at the plate, the veteran Ken Boyer. A man who can get on base. In real life, in 1955, he came up with St. Louis and stayed with them until 1965. Then he joined the Mets, the White Sox, and the Dodgers, it looks like. I'm sure he's a Hall of Fame type player. Defensively, not the best at this stage of his career. Actually, a first baseman is actually pretty decent. But I'm sure Ken Boyer used to be a third baseman. So here's Koufax now, looking in, trying to secure this win. Boyer at the plate. 2 and 2 to count. And Koufax strikes him out. Fastball there. Koufax walks around the mound. Barty at the plate. Warren Barty, not Warren Beatty. Warren Barty's at the plate. The catcher. Runners at the corners. 2 out. Braves lead 6-3. Koufax looks at the runners. Oh, the one at first. Torrey puts a sign down. 1 and 1 to count. And this is popped up to Eddie Matthews at first. And that's the side retired. The Cardinals had 2 base runners, but none of them scored. The Braves still hold the lead 6-3. So now we have a pitching change. Mel Stottlemyre comes in. Now, he's a name I do know. I'm sure he was the Mets pitching coach in the 80s and a famous New York Yankee. So what's he doing on the Cardinals? Let's have a look. Real life, all the way, Yankees. Mike Sim. He starts off with the St. Louis team. So why is that? I think the rookie classes, for some reason, come in as free agents possibly. Or was he with the St. Louis Cardinals before he went to the New York Yankees? I doubt it. I think it's to do with their rookie year. But he should come in as his rookie, so maybe he did start off with the Cardinals. Anyway, here he is, Mel Stottlemyre, 26 years old. It's good movement on his pitches. Let's look at his scouting report. 5-year Major League veteran, several pitches in his arsenal, none of them dominant as it says. So you can see his progression throughout his career. He is on the slide, he's still got something. While his stuff is below average, he does combine that with above average command and control. Live arm, tenacious pitcher, set up role with confidence. Okay. So here we go. At the plate, the shortstop, Dennis Menke. Menke's over 2 today. Stottlemyre looks in, body puts the sign down. 2-0 the count. And that is a soft ball down to third. Boy has it, but he can't actually control it. And an infield hit for Menke. Boyer charged in, he had it. So we've got 2 Boyers on the field now. We've got at third Ken Boyer and Robert Boyer. Okay, I didn't even notice that actually. They were both playing all along. I just assumed that was Ken Boyer at first. It's Robert, and Ken's at third, which makes sense. Okay, unless there was a switch around, I didn't see it. Here we go. Stottlemyre looks in. Menke at first. 0-2 to count. And there's a rising fly ball hit to right field. And Brown has it and catches it. 1 away. Mac Jones, the lefty, left-hand right fielder, comes in. Stottlemyre looks in. 3-1 to count, and he walked him. Didn't need that. So Stottlemyre here in relief. Could be doing better than this. I saw a broadcast from RJL yesterday. Wow. If I could have the energy to broadcast like that guy. I've been watching him but not really paying too much attention. But yesterday I paid attention. It was watching it was 1988 Baltimore Orioles versus the Chicago White Sox. I think he was playing inside pitch and it was hilarious. I mean, it wasn't hilarious. It wasn't funny as in haha funny. It was just that he's so good at calling the game. I thought it was in the stadium. Anyway, Stottlemyre looks in at Aaron at the plate. 1-2 to count. And Hank Aaron hits it to center field. What a catch by Kurt Flood. Hollywood will be proud. Sliding catch and held the ball up for everyone to see. Flashy play. So that's 2 out. Stottlemyre trying to keep the score steady. Menke at second. Jones at first. And here we have Eddie Matthews at the plate. Matthews 1 for 3 today. He's a pull hitter. Brown shifting around in right field. Stottlemyre leans in. 3-2 to count. And Eddie Matthews lifts it down the left field line. 1 run will score. So Menke comes in to score. That was a hit to left by Eddie Matthews. So here's Ron Hunt, who is known as the New York Mets in real life. I'm sure he played for the Mets as a second baseman, but here is a DH today. Stottlemyre looks in. Menke waits. 3-0 to count, and Mel Stottlemyre is struggling out there on the mound today. I'm definitely going to do the series of this actually. This particular 2 teams to get the season started. I'm enjoying this. So 3 men on. Jones at third, Matthews at second, Hunt at first. Wally Moon comes to the plate, a spray hitter. So here's Stottlemyre now struggling on the mound and needs 1 more out. Top of the 7th inning, 7-3 the Cardinals trail. Stottlemyre looks in, Moon waits. 3-2 the count. Wally Moon lifts it to center field, but Flood has it. So Stottlemyre gets out on 1 run and off of the 2 hits. And now it's time for the 7th inning stretch. So as we get to the bottom of the 2nd inning here at Busch Stadium, Bob Henley is now pitching for the Braves. That's done it today for Sandy Koufax. Koufax today doesn't show his stats here. He's pitched well so far anyway. How do I see? Okay, here we go. Koufax pitched 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, pitched 100 pitches. Not dominant today, but effective for sure. And here's Henley at the plate. Bob Henley, the lefty. And here's McCarron at the plate. Barry McCarron. 1-1 the count. And that is grounded to the right side. Matthews over to Henley, and McCarron is out. I said Matthews, actually, it's not Matthews. They've taken him out of the ball game. It's Garrett. Adrian Garrett's now playing first. It's a defensive replacement. Henley looks in, and Johnny Lewis at the plate, left-hander. First pitch, and Lewis drills it to right field. Matt Jones picks it up. Lewis around first, but now he's holding up. And here we go. So Lewis trying to rally. Here's Curt Flood. 1 for 2 today. He's got 2 RBIs today. Against Henley, he bats .267. Henley looks in. 1-2. And he struck him out. Was fastball there. Struck out Flood at the letters. Henley sticks his chest out. Look in. There's Ken Boyer, Robert Boyer at the plate. The slugger. Today he is 0 for 3. They need him to come up big now. Henley looks in. Boyer waits. 3-2 to count. And he walks him. Henley walks Boyer. So Lewis, a big shot here, will pull him closer. And they got the power hitting Levi Brown. But Brown is 0 for 3 today. 2-1 to count. Brown hits it straight down to first, but Garrett has it. He'll handle it on his own. And Brown is out. 2 base runners in the inning, but the Cardinals get nothing. No change in the score. The Braves still up 7-3. Here's Stottlemyre on the mound. Amado Samuel at the plate. Samuel's a light hitter. Not much threat. He must be in there for his defense. Stottlemyre looks in. 2-2 to count. Samuel hits it to second. McCarron reels it in and fires to first for the out. Let's have a look at this McCarron kid. McCarron is 28 years old. He's a bench player really, so what's he doing on the field? Was a minor leaguer, I think. Yep, he was. But he's been at St. Louis since 1964. Barry McCarron. Google that if you will. He does exist. Here's Stottlemyre now with Doug Clemens at the plate. Stottlemyre looks in. Top of the 8th inning here, 7-3. St. Louis trail. 2-2 to count. And that is a grounder to second. And McCarron has it and fires it across first to away. McCarron, rating wise, got a good, yeah, it's decent, but it's nothing special. Second baseman, he's a decent second baseman. Just looking at him there, 55. Lewis, 75. Now, Johnny Lewis is clearly a star defender. Boyer is a 60 at first. Ken Boyer is a 45, but he's 36 now. Bob Berda is 65. A man from St. Louis himself, so a St. Louis native. Kurt Flood is a 55, Texan. And Levi Brown is from, what's VT? Where's that? VT. VT. Not Virginia. Anyway, is it? Maybe it is. Stottlemyre looks in, Menke at the plate. 1-0 the count. And Menke with a base hit to center field. Flood has it, picks it up, but Menke gets the first. So Menke having a decent game today. At the plate, Joe Torre. Torre 1 for 4 today. And now we have a reliever coming in from the bullpen. So that's enough for Stottlemyre. And in comes Dennis Oust. Dennis Oust comes in from Tecumseh, is that Michigan? Tecumseh, Michigan. He existed in real life, of course. He's not done too much in his career so far. Here we go. Oust, right-hander. Joe Torre, a right-hander. 2 out. Cardinals trail 7-3. 0-2 to count. And Torre flies out to right field. And Brown has it. So down go the Braves. Get a hit, but nothing else. The score is still 7-3 Braves over the Cardinals. So here we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jimmy McDaniel at the plate. McDaniel is 1 for 3 today. Hendley looks in. 1-2. The count. And he struck him out. So 1 away. Hendley looks in. Here's Bob Berda. 1-2 to count to Berda. Berda grounds it to short. And Menke picks it up, throws over, and that will retire Bob Berda. It's Ken Boyer now at the plate. He's waiting. Hendley looks in. Hendley, a left-hander. Boyer waits. Torre puts the signs down. 3-2 to count. Struck him out. So Hendley finds him with a fastball. No hits, no runs, no errors, nobody left on base. The Braves still lead 7-3. And here's Oust now, the top of the 9th inning. We can try and limit the Braves. They may have a shot, just a small shot. Oust looks in. Mac Jones waits. 1 for 3. And there's a base hit up to center field. So on the 1-0 count, Mac Jones is at first base. I don't know much about Mac Jones. So let's have a look at Mac Jones. 29 years old now. Started off with Milwaukee in real life. Went to Atlanta. So a decent player actually. In real life he had a very good 1969 player for Montreal. In this game, his best season, he's had a couple of solid seasons in the 60s, was in 1966 for Atlanta. He batted .292, 31 home runs, 72 RBIs. So here's Oust, and here's Gabrielson. So pinch hitter comes in. Gabrielson at the plate, left-hand hitter. Oust pitches, and there goes the runner. Barty fires from his knees, and Mac Jones is in. Safe. I can't stand some of these camera angles. They're good, but sometimes you just can't see a damn thing. Anyway, Oust looks in. Gabrielson waits. 1-1 to count. Gabrielson hits this, grounds it to second base, but carrying over, fires it to first base, and they get it. Gabrielson out, but Jones goes to third. Braves looking to add on an extra run or two here. Another batter coming in now is Adrian Garrett, who replaced Eddie Matthews at first in the previous inning, half inning. House looks in. Oh, one to count. There's a sweet grounder to McCarron. McCarron fires it over to Boyer. 2 away, but Jones will come home. The House looks in. Ron Hunt at the plate. 2-1 to count. Hunt lifts this high to center field. Oh, and Flood makes a mistake again. Trying to be flashy out there in center field, and Hunt will trot into second. So a double. Now, was that a error? I think it was. House. Should we replay that? Because I couldn't see. How do you replay? Yeah. That's the replay. Did he just misjudge it? So Hunt at second. At the plate, another pitch hitter. Bud Zippel coming in now for Hank Aaron. I don't know what they did there, but they've moved things around. Bob Zipfel comes in. Not much of a hitter. House looks in. Oh, a 2 to count. And Zipfel lifts it high to left field. But Berger is trucking it, and he has it, and there is the end of the inning. The score is now 8-3 Braves. So Henley now will finish up this game, it looks like, on the mound. Here is Warren Barty. Henley looks in. Barty with a high fly ball to right field. It's going to drop down for a double at least, and Barty is chugging along, and he will get to third, a triple. Mike Jones 3 in. But Barty head first with a 3-bagger. Again, he's one of these unknowns, as I call them. So Henley looks in, and McCarron at the plate. Oh, 1 to count, and this will fly a ball to short. Referee drops in. So a blooper. Jones rushed in, he had no play, and Barty scores a base hit from McCarron. Just 8-4. Pinch hitting is Charlie James coming in. Got decent contact against left-handers. Are the Cardinals going to try and mount some here? Nobody out. Henry looks in, man at first. Nobody out. 3-0 count. Oh, dear oh me. He walks him. So McCarron at second, James at first, and that's enough. Henley is out of the game. Henley is out. They're putting him out of the game, and in comes now Sammy Ellis to close it down. 8-4, nobody out, 2 men on. The dangerous Kurt Flood at the plate. Flood 1 for 3 today. Ellis looks in, he's got some good stuff. 3-1 to count. And he walked him. So the Braves did everything possible to make this a fight for the Cardinals. Cardinals have got nobody out, 3 men on. I think Koufax will be a bit annoyed. Still holds the win. Sammy Ellis looks in. Boyer at the plate. And Boyer hits it down the left field line. It's a base hit. 1 will score. So McCarron goes to score. Robert Boyer delivers an RBI single. Braves still lead 8-5. Levi Brown on the plate and another pitching change. So the bullpen of the Braves being tested here today, because in comes Bob Dostal. So wow. They got Gabrielson in left, Zipfel in center, Zipfels a 55. Gabrielson is a 50. Jones we know is a 55. Samuel is a 65. Menke is a 70. So Menke is a hell of a player defensively. Clemens is 45. And Garrett is a 40. So, what have we here? The catcher has a check. Dustle waits. Dottore crouches again. This is tight, 8-5 with runners all over the place. The go-ahead run at the plate. 1-0 to count. And then it's struck to... What happened there? Double play, but James will score on the play. Samuel to Menke to Garrett. So Dustle gets a double play, just what they need, the pitcher's friend. So here we go now. McDaniel at the plate. Jimmy McDaniel, the veteran, 1 for 4. 8-6. Flood is at third, so this is a tying run at the plate. 3-0 count. And he walks him. So this Atlanta bullpen doing everything to keep St. Louis close. Talk about snatching defeat away from the jaws of victory. Dustle leans in. Bob Berger at the plate. 0-2 to count. And that is grounded to short and game over. Menke picks it up. And they finish them up. So the Braves take it 8-6 and a very good ball game. They did everything to throw it away, the bullpen. So another game finished. So the 1968 season did not get off to quite the start the St. Louis Cardinals had hoped. With an opening day loss to the Atlanta Braves at Busch Stadium, the final score was 8-6. Starting pitcher Sandy Koufax was the top performer for Atlanta. Koufax got the win, improved to 1-0. He allowed 6 hits and walked 2 over 6 innings. Koufax allowed 3 runs. Atlanta used the bat of Hank Aaron to capture the win. The center fielder jacked a 3-run home run in the top of the 4th inning to put the Braves ahead, 3-0. It was his lone hit in 4 at-bats, but it was a dandy. Good to get a win, said Aaron, but it's a long season. Yeah, you should say that again for the bullpen. But yeah, Koufax just about got that win. He pitched pretty well. Carlton pitched that badly, but wasn't good enough. So I'll be interested to see how Steve Carlton develops. He's 23. He had a horrible season last season, but that could be down to run support. I know there's a stat you can see about defense and stuff, so I need to check that. But that's how it is at the moment. That's not good. 1-19, 5-19. That's more or less his rookie season. Yeah, Smell Stottlemyre just blew it up, really. And oust. But Stottlemyre had a really bad show. Stottlemyre, not really good in his career so far, actually. Apart from his rookie season went 9-9, he seemed to be developed into a middle reliever now. He's very unhappy. Bullpen. His position as a closer. Couldn't do anything in that game. So I like it. Like I said, getting used to some of the minor leagues, particularly in the St. Louis team. I think in 1964 season I got to know Johnny Lewis a little bit, so I'm a bit used to him. The rest I'm getting used to. Next time I do the St. Louis one, I'll know who they are now. McDaniel and Brown, and I think that's why I like playing the OOTP development engine on, because their careers can go different ways, which I like. But it's still close enough to reality as well at the same time. So Dustle, he gets a save. Wow, Dustle. I like the name. Yeah. He's been around the league a bit for Detroit. This is his first season. But if you look at his history, any accomplishments? Yes, he won the minor league 1959 Southern Association round one. 3 hits shutouts. He's not the greatest, basically. So I like it. That's it. So that's the ball game. So I'll end it. That's straight up.